In this how-to, we are going to learn how to insert records into the database. So in order to show this demonstration, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create one form in my ASPX page. So let me create one form here. First I'm going to delete all these existing code from my code behind as well as from the ASPX page. Okay, and here is my form. Now let me just arrange this properly. Okay, now you can see that I have HTML table, and then we have a first name, and then we have text box, then last name text, then last name text box, then age and age text box, and then active. And for active I have kept a drop down whose list item is yes and no, means there will be two items in this drop down, yes and no. And then I have a button. On click of the button we are executing submit data method. So let me create a submit data method as well here. First, naturally we will have to use the database connection string, so I am just copying pasting at the page level so that I will be able to access it anywhere throughout the page. And then here is my submit data server side method. So yes, and then this is the code of the submitted data server side method. So let me create it. Yes, so here I have copy pasted the code. Let me correct this code. Looks like there is some bug here because of this copy pasting, and now it looks like our code is fine. So yes, now let me run this page. So here is my UI. You can see first name, last name, age, and active, and then submit button. Now before I proceed with the clicking submit, I would like to just go through the code once. First we have a page level variable called underscore constr, where we are retrieving the constr, the connection string of the web.config file, and saving into this particular variable. And then we are instantiating the SQL connection object by passing the connection string as the parameter. And the next statement is basically the SQL statement, where we have an insert SQL statement, and we are using first name, last name, age, and active, and we are passing 4 parameters to this particular insert statement. Because we have 4 parameters in this SQL statement, so naturally we will have to pass 4 parameters into the command object as well. So here is the 4 parameters. I have taken the array of the SQL parameter, and one by one I have added all those 4 parameters: txt first name dot text, txt last name dot text, txt age dot text, and then drop active dot selected value. It means that the first name text box, the last name text box, the age text box, and the active drop down. And then once we have it, then we have added all these SQL parameters into this command. This is a SQL command object by using cmd.parameters.add range, because this is the array of SQL parameters, so I am using add range method. And then before executing the command non-query, we have opened the connection, and then we have executed the method called execute non-query of the command object. Remember that the SQL statement that doesn't return any data, we need to execute non-query method, and the SQL statement that returns any data, we need to fire the fill method of the SQL data adapter. We'll talk about them later on. Now once our SQL statement has been executed using execute non-query method of the SQL command, our work is done. So we are going to close the connection. Remember to open the connection as late as possible and close the connection as early as possible, because database connection is very precious and we should not waste these database connections. So I have opened it here. I could have opened it here as well, but instead I just open it wherever I needed, and I just close it immediately. Now once we have everything, then because this execute non-query returns the number of rows affected by using this query, so we had stored that into the return value integer variable. Now we are checking if return value integer variable is equal to 0, it means that record has been inserted successfully. If it will be 0 means no records has been affected, so naturally the record will not get inserted successfully. So this is just a simple check whether whether any record has been affected because of this method or not. If it has affected, then we are writing the success method, otherwise we are not writing any success message here. Now let me enter some data here. So I'm going to write, for example, demo video 2 and yes. Now when I'll click submit, you will see that record inserted successfully. I am getting a message. Now let me show you that particular record into this particular database table. You can see that record number 26, demo video 2 and 1. Whatever I had inserted here, all are getting reflected into the database. So this is the way to insert the records into the database. Now again the same thing, I'm just repeating that this is not the best practice. The best practice is to use the stored procedure to execute any SQL statement instead of using the inline query. Means instead of writing the SQL query in the code. So I will show you how to use stored procedure in the edu.net in following videos.